Hello everyone, this is the teaser video for this coming Sunday, November 13th, so 11/13, this is the teaser video. And the question for this Sunday is, how do you measure up? And that's going to be interesting. I'm going to use an opening from a movie, a movie I enjoy. Um, and we'll be talking about Ty Webb and Judge Smales from Caddyshack. If you've never seen Caddyshack, Chevy Chase, who is Ty Webb, has a good little one-liner in there. I'm going to share that about golfing, and Judge Smales asking him how does he compare himself to other golfers, and it's really a good question though. Is how do you measure up? And basically, how do you measure up is based on what you are measuring by, and it's interesting because people tend to measure by what they deem is important. So if you're a professional boxer or a fighter, you measure by height and weight because that's important for who you're going to fight. If you're athletes, you might measure by the score or distance or time or whatever determines winning or losing. If you're in the business world, if you're in sales, you might measure by quotas per quarter or anything. If you're in business, you might measure by percent profit or total revenue. And depending what your company or whatever group deems is important, that's usually what you will measure by. So how you measure up is obviously based on the criteria in which you are measuring. Now I'm going to be preaching from Psalm 62 verses 9 through 12. You probably want to read the whole Psalm 62, but I'm doing 62, 9 through 12. They're the verses I'm touching on. You'll want to know the background, what leads, this psalm was written by King David, so what led up to King David writing this. We know through a lot of the psalms that King David writes that he cries out to the Lord. He kind of vents, and then he usually regains himself and then sees the wisdom at the end of it. So in here, King David will be talking, especially during the whole psalm, about things that are measured and really aren't important at all. And then he's determining what is important. So I think every one of us really needs to determine what we consider important and what we measure. I personally, for someone who likes solitude and silence and quiet and those type of things, being a celebrity and famous where you can't go out to eat and can't do any of that without being hounded, that is not something that I envy, would not want to be part of. I would never measure that I would never consider that a criteria of success because it's not something I wouldn't want to be part of in any way. So that idea of measuring, well, I wouldn't measure that as success because to me it sounds like it's annoying and it would be a pain. So interesting is, what do you look at when you measure or you compare? Because that will probably tell you what you deem as important. Some people are car people, some people are money, some people are houses or whatever. The whole keeping up with the Joneses, what do the Joneses have that you're trying to keep up with, will probably tell you something that you measure or you deem as important. So the challenge, as always, these teaser videos is to have you read the scripture and try to determine what's being said. So the verses are Psalm 62, 9 through 12. But again, read Psalm 62. Find out what King David is talking about, what he's pointing out that maybe isn't that important, that's being measured by, and then what is truly important. And that's what we're going to wrap up with in my message. So that is what you should be reading or looking into for this coming Sunday, 11/13, November 13th. So see you there. Until then, take care, and be safe.